I feel privileged because I feel like I have the freedom to express myself because that stigma is already on us. I mean, that, oh, you guys are expressive, but I feel to me it's freeing.
But also, like, I don't think people understand like how much of being a woman is powerful.
We just have that power to be convincing, and if people don't understand that's a use of logic and a use on emotion. Yeah.
We're able to think on like different we can like spectrums.
Exactly,
you know?
we can
like
think
we're not
on,
just like trying to think.
So, what does it mean to you guys to be a woman? Like, what does being a woman mean to you? Because I know we're all in different stages of our lives, and I think that probably has a different definition for all of us based on where we are right now.
I think for me personally, I'm still like trying to find myself and like the kind of woman I want to become, and like the women, how the women in my life have shaped me to be like who I am right now.
I'm finding there's different levels of being a woman, which whether it's being a young woman coming into herself, like out of adolescence, out of college, realizing like when if I want to be this best version of myself, there's a lot of change that occurs with that. And so in that change, coming from like a young woman into a married woman into a mom, and that's a very traditional route. But I'm starting to realize myself that there's a lot of different forms, versions of this future best self, best woman that I'm going to be, and it's not going to happen right away. It's going to happen very much in seasons.
I'm in a weird place. So at work I get to see some really older women, so like 50s and above. And it's weird, and I feel like maybe a lot of people are scared to get old, but I'm so excited to get old. And because I just see how free these women are, like they don't care what they say. I mean, they're still...
Really, to me, I see the opposite. I see like women that are very insecure, but then
when they're older?
Yes.
I
did work in a weight loss place.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's important to note that like being a woman isn't just having kids.
Yeah.
Or being a mom.
Yes.
I think, Corinne, like you've kind of hinted at that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not for like, I'm for gender roles and like the traditional marriage, like once you're in the family. But as an individual, I never defined. I mean, I define myself as a woman, but I've never like felt like I went through struggles because I'm a woman, and that's just like my own personal experience.
Well, I feel like society is definitely evolving. I feel like personally for me, being a woman is I feel like I always have to like prove society wrong and like show that I'm like equal to anybody else. I feel like since maybe it's just my generation or something.
Like I've never honestly felt unequal. It's so
I don't feel unequal, but I feel
privileged. I feel privileged, and it's weird.
Too. Yeah. But I feel a need to like prove that I'm like equal to everybody else.
I feel privileged because I feel like I have the freedom to express myself because that stigma is already on us. I mean, that, oh, you guys are expressive, but I feel to me it's freeing.
But also like I don't think people understand like how much of being a woman is powerful. You can use it to your own
advantage,
and not even in a like manipulative way. Like being a woman is a powerful thing, you know.
But like what Anita said, though, I mean, there are some situations and some roles in society where it's being, you know, quote unquote womanly isn't appreciated. Like if you look at Clinton and stuff, or just women in power, I'm sure it's hard to try to make your statement as a woman in a man dominated like
environment
arena. Yeah, but I guess where I am in the scope that I feel privileged. I guess in the nursing, me being a nurse, I feel privileged because I feel like I don't have to be anything but what I am.
But then also you do work with a lot of women too, so it's a different environment.
I guess too.
I feel like it's changing though, like because in a lot of spaces, women are now becoming like in positions of power, and you know, like I mean, even with Hillary Clinton running as president, that was like a huge change for like I think a lot of women to be like, oh, I can do that. You know, I don't have to just be this traditional role, you know.
I just don't see it as a hindrance.
It's not a
hindrance.
hindrance.
And to me, I think that shows how far we've come.
Exactly.
So, because I'm like, because I feel like I get to use women are convincing. Like, I don't want to use the word manipulative, but we just have that power to be convincing. Well, and if people don't understand, that's a use of logic and a use on emotion.
Yeah. We're able to think on, like, different, spectrums.
Exactly.
You know? We can think we're not just, like, trying to think for, like in one track mind. We don't have a one track mind. Because you've seen,
like, and then I don't want to be general. I don't want to generalize, like, women do this, women do that. But generally, you've seen, like, the diagram of how women think and how men think, and how, like, the men have, like, their compartmentalized, like, boxes, and how women have, like, these webs, you know, of just where their thought process goes. And that's personally how I am in my marriage. How Jack is, he's compartmentalized, and I'm more like but it's like it's still organized. And to me, that's a benefit. It doesn't make us like not focused or crazy
or complex or hard to understand.
To me, it's just I think
it suits a man very well. Not to say like I'm not pro anything or people, you know, love is love. I get that. I personally see it's just so compatible, like a man and a woman's thinking, our emotions, whether it's planning,
especially planning,
parenting, and I just see how the two so need each other in so many ways, spiritually, physically, and mentally.
I feel like we didn't agree with Anita at first what she said, but I feel like we kind of just went back to agree with what she just said. How I feel like being a woman, it was seen as maybe a hindrance, but now it's just developed into something where it's kind of, you can use it as a...
Well, the thing is, like, in third world countries, like, it was almost a hindrance. Like, gender roles are really important and stuff, but women weren't allowed to, like, let's say, go to school, so they were, like stuck with their husbands who might have been abusive, but they were, like, providing financially for them, so they were almost, like, stuck in that way, you know? So being a woman in that form wasn't very, like they probably didn't feel like a woman, you know? They probably just felt stuck and they couldn't be themselves, you know? So
I think another thing is maybe like today people are looking for like higher positions to prove that we've come far as a gender, or, you know, as women. Like, oh, if we, you know, get a woman president, then it shows how much influence we have. But to me, I'm like, we've made bigger influences in like the background and silence where nobody even knows. Do you know what I mean? Like behind like a lot of, you know, male figures, there's been a woman who you have no idea, but it's her idea. And to me, I'm like, I'm comfortable with making change and not having to be in this powerful position. You know, there's a lot of powerful positions where the person's not even making any change. They just have this title. To me, it's like, as women, it's like, I don't think we should just be seeking for these high positions and like prove, well, I'm a woman CEO. And I'm like, make the change that you want to make. And it doesn't matter what position you're in. It doesn't matter what level in a company or what level in a job or whatever you're in. You can make the changes you want if you use, you know, the gifts and the traits that we, you know, generally have as women to your advantage.
So, like, what do you think about gender roles then?
It depends where you are.
I just think it's
it depends where in your life you are. In marriage, I feel like there's like, you don't even have to really think them out. They just develop and you just see them unfold as you go through different situations. And you see it develops. It develops based on like what your lifestyle is. So if you're both working parents, what you think is gender roles might be completely different. If you're a stay-at-home mom, then that gender role might be more obvious. It just depends where you are. If you have kids, you don't have kids. Are you homeschooling? You're not homeschooling. Like, what's your, you know, are you a Christian? You're not. It just depends on a lot of factors.
What do you not like about being a woman? Besides the
being blunt, being like straight up front and being like blunt without like feeling like I'm like being judged because I'm being so like open.
Because you feel like you're supposed to be gentle.
I
don't know. It depends on personality. I'm okay being blunt.
Right.
I feel like some people appreciate it. To me, I'm like, to me,
that appreciate it.
To me, as a woman, if you are generally not blunt, if you can learn to develop that personality of just saying what you are thinking, it takes away that annoyingness that some people find with like, okay, can you make up your mind? Because we know what we want. That's the thing. People think we don't know what we want. We know exactly what we want.
We're just scared to speak up.
We're scared to communicate it because then we come across as bossy or whatever. So to me, it's like it makes more sense if you just are blunt,
Yeah, I think I agree with Corinne. I work in a setting where I know, like, if I came to the table with strict ways and an attitude, and I seemed like really maybe too motivated, I would come across as a bitch. And it's not fair. Like, had my like companion who's a male done the exact same thing in the exact same way, they would consider him as like a go-getter, a leader. Like, look at this man.
The
like,
thing too,
he has his work face on. I'm like, we did the same thing in the same way.
The thing is, like, even women like working with you, like they will look down on you too. Like they would think you're trying to take over.
So I have to come in with this like soft
and humble
way of doing things. Like, and Clinton, I think
that's
said,
a hindrance?
she said, forget that. I'm going to be who I am, what I want. And so I think Clinton kind of took her presidency in her way.
I mean, and it's a hindrance because you like you're suppressing yourself and your ideas because like you're afraid you might be rejected or you might be looked at in a different way.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Like especially annoying. Aggressive behavior
or like resting butt face, like no, like I'm not smiling all the time. But men can have that, right? Men can just be serious and like it's taken. But the moment a woman doesn't have like a welcoming face, don't she's having a bad day or she's hormonal, she's emotional. It's like I'm just me.
I really hate not being taken like seriously. Like I like when I'm trying to like express my ideas or like my emotions, and they're like, no, you're just being like emotional or whatever. I really hate that.
I mean, but at least we had the freedom to be emotional. Because imagine men,
because even if they are emotional,
oh my gosh, and I can't even deal with an emotional man. I feel sorry for them.
It's sad though, because I had, like you said, like sometimes I judge emotional men because I'm like, because it makes me cringe because I'm like, oh, I want somebody stronger, like that. And then it's like,
it sucks for them.
If I couldn't express myself, I'd burst.
Me too.
Or if they do, we're like friend zone.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Weakness. Yes. We can only have one weak person.
I know, and it's gonna be me. It's gonna be May.
But it's sad. But it's like, to me, that's what I'm saying. That's like freeing.
Like the advantage of
I love the option of being able to be
Yeah.
strong and then being able to break down, and it's completely okay. And I think everybody should have that freedom, but
but men,
it's
no, that's a messy one. What about you guys?
Are we done?
Cool. You want to keep talking?
No.
This is 15 minutes.
Oh, what? It's really long already?
I feel like I could talk forever.
But you were taking over everything.
I really like the community that women have, like just being able to come together and talk. Because I was like looking at this thing where it's like older men tend to be more unhappy because they didn't make friends throughout their life because they were working, whereas older women tend to be happier because they made friends throughout their lifetime that they can talk to and like be with.
Yeah, that is true. Older women are more happy than older men. Like older men just turn grumpy. But to me, like I don't.